Good morning, America. My name is John, and I am the traditional liberal. Cuttlefish are sometimes called the chameleons of the sea. They have a remarkable ability to camouflage themselves, W-shaped pupils, complex hunting and mating behaviors, and some of them, such as the flamboyant cuttlefish, are even venomous. They belong to the family Cepiidae in the class Cephalopoda, which also includes octopi, squid, and nautili. Their mating behavior is fascinating and sometimes dazzling with bright, colorful, changing displays that just ripple across their bodies. They dance if the female is receptive. The males are fiercely territorial of other males and will violently attack other males who attempt to steal away a female. This has led to some smaller, weaker males developing a new tactic for mating. They alter their coloration and patterning to mimic a female on one side of their body in order to sneak past the dominant male, while displaying male coloration on the other side to attract the females that are around that dominant male. In short, they pretend not to be masculine in order to get close to the females and mate with them, despite not being the biggest and strongest specimens. Interestingly, something similar also happens in humans. Weaker men will sometimes try to mimic feminine traits or downplay their own masculine traits in order to ingratiate themselves to certain groups of women. These are the men who will encourage a broke woman to have an OnlyFans so that they can see them for $5 a month. These are the men who will encourage young women saying that sex work is valid so that they can buy them. These are the men who will pass a woman around and call it empowerment. These men will not protect a woman or provide for her. If she is in danger, he will flee or fawn. And if she asks why he didn't protect her, he'll say, "But we're equal." Yeah, I know I'm going to get some hate for this because I'm talking about feminist men. Not all of them, obviously. I generally don't deal in absolutes. I'm not a Sith.
Only a Sith deals in absolutes.
So, my wife and I have been talking about cuttlefish behavior in this context for years. And then Joe Rogan says it on his podcast, and we lose any chance of getting credit for applying it to humans because I hadn't started a YouTube channel yet. But seriously, feminist men are a fascinating example of cuttlefish behavior. They will completely eschew the masculine virtues just to ingratiate themselves with women, especially women feminists. Sometimes they might even believe it, but I think at least half the time they're just paying lip service. They're denying the reality of their biology in order to get closer. And sometimes it backfires. I remember a story of a couple who got mugged. The woman asked afterwards why her boyfriend didn't try to shield her or protect her in any way, and his reply really stuck with me. He said, "Why would I? We're equal." And it was at that point that she realized that the feminist idea of equality and sameness is a myth. Her boyfriend was significantly taller, stronger, and bigger than her. But he made absolutely no move to keep her safe. Now, thankfully, this particular story ended with no one getting hurt, just robbed. But it shook her, and she left him. But you know what? Maybe that wasn't really a backfire at all. After all, he did get to date her without giving anything up. He didn't have to be a protector. He didn't have to provide for her. He didn't have to prove himself as a man. He got what he wanted for nothing, you might say. So here's the deal. Men and women absolutely should be equal under the law. Equal rights, equal opportunities, equal protection against discrimination. But that's about where it ends. To pretend that there's no physical difference between men and women is denying reality. And while that might get you close to a certain kind of woman for a while, eventually they'll leave you because deep down they know there's something not quite right about a man who acts that way. You actually see this in online forums all the time, where a woman will say that she wants a man who believes in equality and is a feminist, and they find one and everything is great, but she gets the ick. She gets the ick because men are not supposed to behave that way. Now, this isn't even necessarily a man versus woman thing. It's a strength and capability thing. I would act the same towards anyone who was less able to protect or defend themselves, be that a woman, a child, or even just a man who wasn't as big and as strong as me and was in over his head. That's what being a protector is. I have been saying for years, the purpose of strength is to protect those who lack it. Women have other amazing and powerful attributes, and those should be celebrated, but we have to stop pretending that we're all the same. The sneaky cuttlefish may get to mate, but his days with the female cuttlefish are numbered. And that's all I have for you today. Please subscribe if you'd like to hear more, and comment below your thoughts. Thank you, and good night, America.